welcome to another episode of the Movie Brothers. I'm Ant, this is Kev, and we heart film, y'all.
We heart film?
Yeah, I mean, it's...
What are you, 12?
I'm just about love, Kev.
Okay.
You got something against that?
Not at all, not at all. Movies got you feeling some kind of way. Huh?
Well, some movies do.
All right.
All right. And you guys love film as well, otherwise you wouldn't be tuning in to the show. So thank you for joining us once again. Today is the first day of summer. We shoot this show in Texas, and it is hot as hell down here.
So that means that we ain't having it. It's too hot. It's too hot. So if a movie is bad, if it stinks, if it's trash, we're going to tell you exactly what it is. If it's great, we're going to give it all the superlatives in the world. But I'm going to hand it back over to you, Ant.
No patience for BS. Today we are reviewing the film Think Like a Man 2. It's rated PG-13, has a runtime of 1 hour and 46 minutes. This is the sequel to Think Like a Man. The whole crew is back, this time for a wedding in Vegas. So we're saying everything that happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas, gets someone into big trouble.
All right, this movie was directed by Tim Story, who brought us the first Think Like a Man. He also brought us Ride Along and Fantastic Four and a host of other movies that we won't mention here. This movie stars Kevin Hart, Taraji P. Henson, Michael Ealy, Gary Owen, Megan Good, Jerry Ferrara, Regina Hall, Terrence J, Romany Malco. Did I miss anybody?
I don't know. You just pick somebody you like, and maybe they might be in the movie. For real.
What do you say we take a look at the trailer?
Let's do it.
I'm in Las Vegas. From the casinos to the clubs, the pools and the strip bars, it's the best place in the world for men and women to get their freak on.
Seek the free! This man is a legend with the ladies.
I can only imagine.
Oh, baby, you ain't got to imagine. We got this on video. You don't want to see that? Seek the Freak is back in town. I don't know that dude.
I'm in the house. And it's still the #1 destination for couples to do the craziest thing of all, get married.
Mom! Are you in the adjoining suite?
Once the door closes, you can barely hear a thing.
Fortunately, I arrived the only way a sane person should. I'm talking about solo, people.
Hey, that Lambo okay right there, right? It's my car.
Get back! Are we in here right now? Let me do all the talking. No. I'm a season 1 holder of eyes. Have you seen it? No. Exactly, so you don't have the knowledge. Everybody listen up!
Think Like a Man 2.
My people. I feel like a parent, you know, when they say, you know, this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you.
Whoop that tail, Ant.
Because I was pulling for this film, you know, like it's all about the love, but at the same time, I have to give the discipline. And I have never seen a film that had so much to work with, yet do so little,
right.
Which makes me say it was lazy. This film was lazy, Kev.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. It's funny that you mentioned parenthood, because we all go through that weird and awkward tween phase where we think that everything we say is comedic gold, and in reality all we're really doing is just pissing off and irritating our parents and friends and everybody around us. I feel like that's what Tim Story delivers for us here.
Tim Story, I'm glad you mentioned him. So we got to take a step back for a moment, y'all. You know, Kev mentioned Tim Story. We reviewed the film Ride Along not too long ago, which he also directed. We have Will Packer, who's the producer of both of these films. And then we have, who else? Kevin Hart, who's starring in both of these movies. And a lot of the issues that I had in Ride Along, I have in this film.
Yeah.
Where is the direction? Where is the story? It was funny, I was watching this interview by T.I. just a couple of days ago, and he was talking about celebrity status, and we as consumers, the fans who, you know, support these people, it's never about the individual. And I think sometimes Hollywood can get caught up with these, you know, hey, I'm this, I'm that, versus focusing on the work that they do. Let me make this point. I don't think Kevin Hart is doing that, but it's possible that maybe the people around him,
right.
The Tim Story, the Will Packer, are putting this movie together to just say, hey, let's drop Kevin Hart in this movie and just let him do whatever, and it's going to be great. It doesn't work
make money.
like that. And we're going to make money.
Okay.
Where's the story at? Where's the direction? We didn't get that.
Right. And the thing is that this movie wants to liken itself to the Best Man series, I believe, in that it's another movie with an ensemble cast. And in the Best Man series, we love every single one of those actors and actresses. We've come to love those characters. We've grown with those characters. Think Like a Man wants to do that same thing, okay? But there's one big problem. None of the characters in the Think Like a Man series seem to have grown at all. If anything, they've regressed. They've gone backwards. Okay, they have gone backwards in time. Every lesson that they supposedly learned in the first film, they have forgotten in this film, and so we get a lot of retread and a lot of things that just really don't work the way that they should. And you mentioned Kevin Hart. You know, I love Kevin Hart. Okay, but let's be honest, a little Kevin Hart goes a long way.
Like, you know, we get the 2-piece and you want a little pepper on the side, just a little.
Yeah, you just want a little bite of that pepper. You don't want to just take the whole pepper into your mouth because it's going to ruin the taste of everything else. Okay, Kevin Hart is just basically left to go just crazy in this film. He's like Speedy Gonzalez on speed. Okay, and so as a result, you know, we're left with all that manic energy that he gives us, that he provides, but nowhere to channel it.
Yeah, no doubt. And I don't blame that on Kevin Hart. He's an actor. Again, I go back to the writing and the direction. You know, the folks that put this film together to, you know, they're responsible for controlling that, like you said, and just being, you know, let's just get a little bit of it and sprinkle here, a little dab there, and let's keep it moving.
Right.
You know, when Kev opened up the today's episode for us, you know, he rattled off all of those names. But the way the movie plays, he could have just said Kevin Hart, and that would have been it. I mean, we got... So Kevin Hart in every scene. You got some random cameos. You got Floyd Money Mayweather, who's in there, which it was very awkward for me, Kev. I don't know.
And
about
it just didn't work.
Him.
I mean, I guess he was supposed to be like Mike Tyson in The Hangover, and it just didn't
exactly.
work.
So he's in there. Drake shows up, and yeah, you start feeling like they're kind of copying off of The Hangover.
And Farnsworth Bentley. Where did they unearth Farnsworth
But you know what the weird
Bentley?
thing was? I had a feeling he was going to show up in this movie. I thought he was going to play a different character. I can't give it away and say who he plays, but Kev is right. He does show up. Now, how I knew he was going to, I don't know. But that's not a good thing.
He shows up
show
without an umbrella, by the way, so don't worry. He does not have an umbrella.
Yeah, so random cameos, trying to play off The Hangover, but they get hung.
They get hung big time. So let's be honest. All right, if we're being honest, there is puerile humor to be found here. Okay,
Puerile?
puerile. Okay,
You got to help me out, Kev. You know I am 12, so yeah.
okay. Webster's will define puerile as being, you know,
It's
just
like childish or
childish
okay.
and unfunny, you know, with no direction. Okay.
Okay.
That's what we have here. We have some puerile elements in this film that might make you chuckle if you are channeling your inner 13-year-old. But rather than realistically mining the humor like the original did, the humor of relationships and where those pitfalls are.
Because it's called Think Like a Man.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay. We don't get that at all in this film. Okay. We get a series of vignettes and little short pieces, little short jokes that don't move the plot anywhere, that aren't funny, that don't do anything at all. There's no heart and no soul in this film like there was in the first one. Okay. And it relies primarily on frat boy or sorority girl types of humor, and it's just not funny.
Yeah, no, I mean, and me, I can get with the childish, or as Kev would say, puerile humor all day long. But in this case, it's just not funny, period.
Yeah. The movie is lightweight, it's paper thin, and what's worse, it is totally unnecessary. Okay? I felt like there was a direction that this film could have gone in when I heard that it was being made, but the more I saw the trailers and the previews of this thing, the more I started to feel like, okay, there's an ill wind blowing over this thing. I don't think we're going to get what we're hoping for.
Something wicked comes this way.
Yeah, something wicked this way comes. You know, and I was unfortunately dead on with that assessment. This movie was not necessary. It was totally unnecessary. Didn't have to be made. It's an obvious.
You guys have heard me talk about this before, and I'm like all or nothing. That's how I am straight up. Since the 50s, we've always talked about crossover music. This movie made an attempt at being a crossover film. When you look at the cast, the rating, PG-13, but think about the content and what this film is addressing, did not work at all.
Right. I actually saw Kevin Hart on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon a few nights ago, and the audience was feeling him. You can tell he is likable in that way. He does have the potential to have some crossover appeal, but the thing is, you need a director who knows how to channel that and how to put that to use. And I don't think that Tim Story, was the director for this particular purpose. Obviously, this movie was a cash grab, man. Okay, like I said, I respect Will Packer.
Home.
Yeah, I respect Will Packer, and I respect even Tim Story for what he's been able to accomplish in Hollywood. But this movie it's obvious to me this movie was meant to do nothing more than just make money. Where the first film had an actual message, this one falls short in every single way. Yeah,
I hear you. Kev, you ready to throw some points on this thing, man?
Let's throw some points on this. First off, I gotta say that I like all the actors in this film, okay, which probably gives it a point right then and there, just for likability, okay. We've talked about this before, and you talked about how some movies are meant to be PG-13, some movies are meant to be rated R. This movie has rated R subject matter that's been watered down to a PG-13 level that doesn't work.
Right.
Okay, I think that had they gone with the R rating, okay, and just basically just own it, own the subject matter, own what you are, be who you are, that this movie could have possibly been funnier. Okay, they would have had a much more hangover type of movie.
Right.
But they decided not to. They played it safe, and as a result, just it doesn't work. I give this movie a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. I agree with you, Kev. I mean, you have this artificial attempt to get this wider audience, and it just didn't play well.
Right.
For me, unfortunately, I'm feeling very similar to Kev. And to wrap it up,
Unfortunately.
well, because it's not. I was
man.
pulling for this film, but hey guys, you know what? I'm a big Michael Jackson fan, and if you saw his last movie, This Is It, there's a line in that movie that stuck with me, but it's so fitting right now. He said, "It's all in love, but get there." Big Michael Jackson fans, you know what that means. I'll tell you what it means. It is in love, right? But they do not get there. I was pulling for this movie, but it just falls short in so many ways. I give it a 5 out of 10. Save your ducats.
Speaking of ducats, I will pay cash money for you to do your Michael Jackson impersonation again.
Oh, it's all in love, but get there.
Very good, very good. So
Hey,
Ed gives
y'all.
it a 5, I give it a 6.
It's a 5 out of 10. All right, that is our show. With all of that said, that is our show for you today. Be sure to like us on Facebook. You can find us by searching The Movie Brothers.
Or you can follow us on Twitter at The Movie Brothers.
Yep, and be sure to subscribe to our channel at Where Else The Movie Brothers.
Absolutely.
All right, that is our show. We are The Movie Brothers. I'm Ant. This is Kev, and this is the place where we bring you nothing but the real on the real. Peace.